Hi guys and welcome. These are your handover videos for your major 6TD. These are essentially a basic run through on how to set up and operate the caravan as if you were getting on or off site. So starting off first, you have your black hitch head just here with black lever. Now you have to have your black lever pulled up like so to then wind the jockey wheel down onto the tow ball. What will happen is it will snap it down like so. Push up that red button and expose a green ring at the bottom. Then you know you're securely on. You've got a breakaway cable just here. The breakaway cable has to be used through the eye point if you have one. If not, wrap it around the tow bar. You've got your jockey wheel just here, which is used to level the caravan and help get it onto the tow ball. And then you've got the red handle to pull the jockey wheel up whilst you're travelling. Handbrake just here, that operates by just pressing up or down. And then you have 13-pin electric. So if you do have the 7-pin adaptation, make sure to bring yourself an adapter prior to collection so that you can get yourself going. Now we are using our test equipment today. So first up, we've got a red propane gas bottle with an in-date gas hose connected. So the gas hose connects onto the gas bottle just there. Now, as this is a propane bottle, it will require a propane pigtail, which is what I'm using. Then have a gas hose which connects onto this regulator just here. What you want to do is essentially hand tighten it as much as you can and then just nip it up using a spanner. There is an O-ring inside, so you don't want it so it's ridiculously tight, as it puts pressure on that and can cause it to crack and gas to leak out. So just firmly, essentially. So once that is both firmly connected, twist the gas bottle in the positive or open direction and that will begin to feed gas through into the caravan. 2 points either side and 2 points at the back, you have inserts for your legs. You can either use the leg winder that will be given with your caravan, or you can get yourself a 19mm drill bit and a power drill just to make it that bit quicker. Do not attempt to jack up or level the caravan using your legs. They're simply used for stabilisation. First, level using the jockey wheel, then put down all 4 corner steadies to ensure that it's nice and stable. Now, coming round to the other side, starting off first, we have your flue. Your flue is used to essentially get clean air in and out of your boiler when you're operating on gas. Don't have to do anything with this except make sure it's nice, clean and tidy. Next up, we have our test Acrol. This is full of clean drinking water. Then this is your water pump. So take this out for a second. So at the bottom you can see you have your strainer. Your strainer is what will pull through any water into the system itself. Now with this, you have to ensure that it sits at the bottom of the barrel, as otherwise it can lead to mixing up my words today, coughs and splutters, and just generally bad for the quality of the stream. Then you have this plastic cap to go over the top of the Acrol to make sure no nastiness gets in. And then lastly, you have your plug-in. To plug it in, you just press in to remove it, press on the trigger and pull out. Now, as you can see, it does have a little bit of a tendency to curl up. My recommendation is to get some PVC piping or old hose pipe, something like that, to essentially ensure that it's always going to be straight, as otherwise you're going to be coming out and essentially straightening it out. So just get something like that to ensure it to be a bit easier. Then next to that you have your battery locker. So on this example there's no battery fitted, but that's where it would go. You'd need either a 12 or 13mm spanner for the terminals. Then next to it you have your plug-in for your mains lead. Mains lead plugs in nice and easy. You have a little bit of a cutout just here where you can feed the mains lead through to allow to lock up the locker. Motor mover I will go over on collection. Then lastly we have your toilet functions. First up, underneath here you have the 2 points where your wastewater are going to come out of. This is where your wastewater from both your showers and your sinks will come out of. So you'll need some 28.5mm waste pipe that you can then feed into a waste master and empty out at the appropriate point on site. Then just here we have your cassette toilet. So I will show you later on how you know when the cassette toilet is full, but to remove it, press up on the orange handle and pull out towards you. However, ensure that the toilet cassette's lever is in the right position, as otherwise you end up looking like a mug on your videos. And then you just pull out like so. Then you can also extend this up and out to essentially operate like a carry-on suitcase almost. Then once you're at your emptying point on site, twist that head to the side, open that up just there. You want to tilt it at the same time as tilting, continually pressing the vent button. What I would say as a recommendation, open up this compartment, feed in some fresh water, give this a little bit of a shake, and again tilt and vent just so it makes it smell a bit nicer. Then on this cap you have measurements in both imperial and metric, and that is for your blue chemical. Blue chemical goes back onto there, twist the head to the side, push it in so that orange handle sits behind those white teeth, so then it can't be removed. Then this compartment here, this is where your water will sit for your flush tank. You'll need something like a watering can to just feed it in and make it a bit easier. This tank can hold 12 litres, however I wouldn't recommend putting in any more than 10, as you don't want to overfill the compartment. You also don't want to travel with either of these two full, so just up here, got a little bong to empty out any water from this system. The caravan will be fully drained off before you leave with it. And underneath your right hand side seat you have all of this, so I wouldn't recommend storing anything underneath here. First up, underneath that compartment you have your boiler. Now the boiler has a series of blue and red leads leading to it, but this one in particular has both your flow jets, which will push the water around, and also this yellow switch valve. That switch valve is your drain valve. When it's in the horizontal position as it is now, that is allowing the flow of water to come in to the caravan. However, when you flick it up to the vertical position, that will drain off any remaining water inside the system. We will leave the caravan with that switch in the vertical position. November to March, have that up permanently unless you're actively using the caravan, and always give the caravan a drain off before you leave with it. Then just here you have both your fuses and your trips, all your trips in the upright position and all your fuses in the correct position. Then as you can see you have spare heating and hot water and charger all illuminated, showing that all of those are working. You then have a reverse polarity button just there and a complete system shutdown button. Press that in, nothing inside the caravan is able to operate. Then you have the silver box on the side, which as you can see is your battery charger. Now going back to this, if you do need any more information on your trips and fuses, pull down this board and it will give you a bit more info. Then this black box here is your brain box for your motor mover, essentially what is the operative for the motor mover. Then just here we have your main control panel. So as you can see right now, the power is on from mains coming into the caravan. I can view the level of either the mains that are coming in or the vehicle battery by either pressing the view level button or the individual button there. Now as I'm currently not plugged into leisure battery, I have mains lead in. It will show the amount coming from the mains lead. If I didn't have a battery on board, that would show me an idea of how much power was coming from the battery itself. So I have vehicle battery there as well, which obviously I'm not plugged into the vehicle, so it's not going to show anything. Then I've got water pump button just there. So when I press that in, essentially what that does, it draws through the water from the aquarol outside into the boiler. Now the boiler itself will get filled to capacity, as you can hear. Then once it's full, it will essentially cut out. Whenever you come to use your taps, your sinks, whatever, and remove any water, it will be sucked back through and replaced. So because I haven't used the caravan in a little while, what I'll do is wait 2 to 3 minutes to just allow the water to come through and then test on one of the taps. Whilst that's waiting, I'll show you your heating system. So this is Truma blown air. Now, this is all operated on this panel just here. And essentially what you have is a series of vents across the caravan which will push out the hot air. This is your home screen. This is a dial but also a button, and that's a back button. So first up you have the motorhome with the thermometer in, as they use this for motorhomes as well. Press in on it and this is your internal temperature that you desire. Using the dial I can go from 5 degrees or off all the way up to 30 degrees. Now whatever I select, I press in on the dial and it will select that as a source. However, I don't want any heating on right now. Whenever I select something as well, you can see at the top the flame comes on. That shows that the heating's on. That shows the energy source, and that shows the amount of power for the fan, which I'll show you in a second, but turn that off for now. Next up, you've got the water temperature. So it's currently off. I can have it on eco, which will get the water temperature to 40 degrees, hot, which will get the water temperature to 60 degrees, or boost. Now what boost does is prioritize the water heat over the heating of the actual caravan for around about 15 minutes. This is ideal if you're wanting to use a shower or something like that in the morning, just so it's nice and warm for you. That will get it to 60 degrees and then drop it back down to eco afterwards. Next up, I've got my energy source. So I can either have gas, a mixture gas and 1 kilowatt of mains, mixture gas and 2 kilowatt, or electric with either 1 or 2 kilowatts. Now, whatever I choose, that's the only source that's going to be used. So it's not going to switch itself over. So I can either run gas, mains, or a mixture of both. Next, you have your fan speed here. So as I currently don't have the heating on, it's going to give me the setting of either off or vent. Now what vent does is essentially it pushes out the air from these vents, but with no heat. So essentially you could get all your windows open and it can circulate around the nice fresh air. However, if I come back to this and let's just quickly put on some heat, so go back over to fan speed, it's either eco or high. So eco is a nice steady stream, high is a bit more vigorous and will heat up the caravan a bit quicker. So turn that off now. Next up, you've got your timer. So that's this one just here. So this allows you to start when you'd like the heating and hot water to come on and when you'd like it to stop. So if you're away from the caravan, but you know, you don't want to come back and have to get everything set back up again, you could use that. You first input the time you'd like it to come on and then off. Next, you have the time, so it's currently not 7 minutes past midnight. As I've reset the panel, it's going to come up with the incorrect time. So just correct that whenever you come into the van. Lastly, you have that spanner icon, which is additional settings: offset, temperature, brightness, 12 or 24 hour clock, language or index. I love smoke alarms. I'm not going to run through the additional settings, but if you would like to have a look inside your book pack for what they represent, please do so. Then to turn this panel off completely, press and hold on the middle button and it will come up to this off. Now, it will go to that natural green screen when it hasn't been interacted with for a while, just so it doesn't disturb you whilst you sleep. However, right now, as you can see, nothing comes on. To turn this back on, I press and hold on the middle dial. Coming back to this, I press water pump. It's been about 2 to 3 minutes. Come over to your taps, open up on both hot and cold. As you can see, it's a little bit weak right now, but as you can see, it gets a little bit more vigorous, and then you get this nice steady continuous stream. So what you want to do is essentially let it run for around about 30 seconds, and then you can also test your other taps and sinks. As you can hear as well, whenever the water is coming out of the boiler, it's being replaced. But what you want to do, let it run for about 30 seconds, test it on both hot and cold, and just make sure that it's a nice and steady stream. If there's any coughs or sputters like there just was, go outside, check to make sure that the strainer is set at the bottom of the barrel, which, as I mentioned before, they do have a tendency to curl up, and that's what had happened. So just let it run nice and steady, and then you can also check your other taps as well. And just here we have your hob grill and oven. Now this is all operating off gas, so all you have to do is press in on the dial, twist it to the side, and press in on the igniter. Now when you do come to first use it, if you've put on a new hose or a new bottle, it may be a case that the flame will ignite first and then cut out. Essentially, that's the air getting pushed out of the system. Just reignite it. So this is what it looks like when they're all lit. So you can see here, nice blue, clean, continuous flames. Turn it off back to the central position. Then again for the grill, as you can see for the grill, both sides nice and lit. And then lastly, we have your oven. So let me see if we can do this with one hand. Oops. And there you go, your oven nice and lit there as well. Only other thing to note, make sure you travel with this glass sheet down, but don't put it down until all of these are cold to the touch. And make sure that you travel with your gas off. Now you can have the gas bottle hooked on, but don't have it where the gas is actively on. Then just here we have your fridge operation. So to turn on your fridge, press and hold on this power button. It will flash up and go to its most recent memory. As you can see, there's a little green LED to show you that it's actively on. And then as you can see right now, gas is on full capacity. That will naturally go away. This LED will be on to show you that it's on. I can have a quick flash to see what's on by pressing in this grey button. However, let's say I want to change the source. I press and hold on this button just here. It will begin to flash up. And essentially, I'm not built for these vans, you can flick through your sources. So if I've got mains, battery, now that battery symbol is not for leisure battery, it is for your 13-pin electric, or gas. Now let's say I want mains, I press in just there, and then I've got the amount of power coming in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. 5 being the most powerful, so it's going to chill it the quickest. Now, just so you can see what it's like when there's a hazard, I'm going to quickly switch it over to battery. As you can see, it begins to flash up. So press and hold, switch it over to gas, let's say. Now for gas, it may be a case that essentially you won't want to put on gas until you've checked all of these compartments. What you'll hear is a gradual beginning of a ticking in. Then once that ticking is finished, that means that it is then lit. Now to turn this off, press and hold on this power button, and as you can see, no more LED. Lastly, we have the toilet, which is bulk simple. Toilet itself has this flush button up here. Press it in and you can hear that motor. That motor is what will push around any water inside the flush tank system itself. Then to remove any waste, press away on this handle, opens up the catch, and then pull it back towards you, because otherwise you won't be able to remove the cassette toilet. When the cassette is full, there will be a red icon come on underneath there to tell you to go and empty your toilet.